It is common to hear America called a democracy. However, America is not a democracy. She is a constitutional republic. Some may claim there is really no difference between a democracy and a republic, but that is a false claim. Maybe, if Americans understood the difference between a democracy and a republic, people wouldn't just roll their eyes and shake their heads when they hear politicians, talking heads, and professors call us a democracy. Americans would be upset. The founders of America established America as a constitutional republic for one main reason. Their ultimate goal was to preserve liberty for future generations. They knew from their own personal experience that a kingdom style of government doesn't preserve liberty. When you live in a kingdom, the king holds all the power, and he's the one to hand out the rights and the privileges to the people as he sees fit. When the king has the power to give, he also holds the power to take away. When you live in a kingdom, you only get what you have. You only keep what you have with permission of the king. A constitutional republic is the opposite of a kingdom. In a constitutional republic, the people have the authority to give government power, and they have the authority to take it away. The Declaration says, "And whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish." Because in a constitutional republic, laws are made with the consent of the people through their representatives, who are constrained by the rule of law. The people are to have equal representation and equal voice. It is this principle of equality and equal representation that makes a constitutional republic the only government that can secure liberty. But where does a democracy fit in this analysis? You've got your kingdom over here. You've got your republic, or your constitutional republic over here. Where does the democracy fit? Is it similar to a republic? Is it somewhere in between a republic and a kingdom? In truth, there is really not much difference at all between a democracy and a kingdom. The only real difference between a democracy and a kingdom is how many people rule over you. In a kingdom, specifically a monarchy, the rule comes from one person. In a democracy, the rule comes from those who hold the most power. In spite of what we are taught, a democracy does not operate upon the principles of equality. Quite the opposite. A democracy operates with mob rule. Those who have the most power, or those who have the most people in their group, are the rulers over the minority. In a democracy, those in a majority hold all the power. And they hand out all the privileges and the rights to those in the minority. So if you live in a democracy and you are in a minority group, you have nothing unless the majority says you can have it. And you only keep what you have as long as the majority says you can keep it. If America were a democracy, Rosa Parks would still be sitting in the back of the bus or in a jail cell. In a democracy, minority groups never have a society-changing voice. That only happens when the government acknowledges that all men are created equal, and all laws must be created to ensure equal liberty and justice under those laws. A kingdom does not preserve liberty. It only preserves the power of the king and the servitude of the people. And a democracy does not preserve liberty. It only ensures that there will always be masters and always be slaves. Only in a constitutional republic is the government the subject of the people, and all people, even those in minority groups, can have a society-changing voice. If we want to make America great again, we must know who we are and where we came from. We must ensure that government knows its proper place, and the people know that their liberty and the liberty of our future is what we must secure. We must get educated to get liberated.